to the show. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make an omelet. Real simple, real easy. Omelets are not that complex. The main thing you need to remember, though, just like with all of our dishes, is the prep work. So what we're going to do right now is go through the stages of putting together an omelet. Step one is you got to gather your resources. Now, what I mean by that is go ahead and get all your little veggies and stuff and put them on the table. You know, instead of running back and forth to the refrigerator trying to grab different things and all like that, you want to just go ahead and take everything out that you normally use. You might be like, well, I already know how to do that. I bring everything together all the time. But in case you didn't know that, you want to take out everything, throw it on the table here, look at it so that you can see what you're going to use to assemble your omelet. Now, once you do that, let me grab the ball. Here, the ball is right here. All right, you want to have a bowl over here so that you can put all your veggies and stuff into it as you dice them up. So we're going to start with our scallions or green onions, whatever you choose to call them. Now, as I cut these up, you might see me switch between this knife, and this knife right here. And the reason being because of the texture of the veggies and whatnot and how easy it is for me to cut through them. I even say, Dad, you need to get you a whole good, better set of knives, and I'm going to do that. But right now, this is what we're working with. So, anyway, let's go ahead and start cutting up some of our vegetables. Now, here's another thing. You got a good shot of that? Mm-hmm. You should know about the vegetables. Vegetables usually look better, taste better when they're diced up nice, small, cute, pretty looking or whatever. Children even engage them a lot more when they're like that, as opposed to having these big plump chunk veggies and whatnot. Now, sometimes you might see me do something like this. Put this up in here. Where I might take scallion or the green onion and slice it this way, so that we can have these nice long strips. And that's if I'm trying to fill, the salad, or if I'm doing this like for a salad. I might do this for an omelet too. It just depends on how I feel or how I think the item that I'm making will take shape around the vegetables that I'm putting in it. So in other words, if it's a salad, I want them long like this, because you're not going to get this up on a fork very well. If I'm moving a little bit faster, I got smaller bunches. Like I say, you might see me switch to a knife like this. The key thing is to have a knife that has a serrated edge. Serrated edge, it's like when you have these smaller teeth right here. Right? Some people call it a fruit knife. Some people call it all kind of knives. I don't know. You got a bunch of them. We're going to look all that up and find out what that is, right? But you want a knife with a serrated edge because it cuts through the vegetables a whole lot easier. Right? Getting back to the point, let's go ahead and cut these up. We gotta get this table straight. Alright. Drop these down in here. So we got that. Go ahead and put up some of our tomatoes here. Now this omelet is strictly a veggie omelet. Usually I will put in there some chicken or, fish, whatever you want to stick anything in an omelet. Remember, it's just an egg. It's like veggies and whatever you put in it, wrapped in an egg, Plus some cheese if you want to use that as well. Go ahead and put up my tomatoes. And a lot of times, too, I'm using these items that actually just make it look good, too. Because we cook first, or we eat first with our eyes. So when people see the dishes, or, your guests, your children, husband, wife, whoever, they look at it and they go, oh man, that looks wonderful. It actually starts the salivation process within the mouth. Some of y'all might laugh like, oh, ain't nobody salivating over food like that. But it's a normal process that goes on in the body. You see something, you like it, the juices and everything start building up in your mouth to help you digest or process the food that you're internalizing. Internalizing. That's short for eating. Alright. So my tomatoes I can leave like that or cut them up. I usually just cut them in thin slices like that, because you get to chopping up a tomato too much, it just breaks down and it's all over the dang place. So throw some more in there. And you say, well, how do you know how many tomatoes to use? I'm filling it out, really. Depending on how many omelets I'm making. Today I'm making 3. So, I'm thinking about how many vegetables overall that I'm going to have added in there and their size and whatnot. And I think real cooking should be kind of like a dance. It should be rhythmic. You know, you need your ingredients, don't get me wrong. And you will see the recipes on the site, you know, cookingwithflavor.net. I got to shout them out. That's my site, so, you know, I always have to shout them out. But anyway, the recipes, you know, they'll definitely help you stay, you know, on point with the ingredients and the amounts and whatnot. And you'll come up with your own amounts depending on how you want things to taste and how you want things to look. But you always do need to have a straight basis or somewhere to begin from. After that, you just fill it out. It's like dancing. Somebody can teach you the two-step. You know, we can teach you to, you know, go back and forth like this. But then, you know, it's like, you have to like feel that. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody teach this. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me stop. Go ahead and chop things up. That should be enough tomato. Throw a little bit of this red pepper in here. See, that knife, man, that serrated edge, help you go right through it. And with peppers, same thing, but I always usually start by making as many thin slices as I possibly can. And then I'll break them down. And that's just a habit of mine, because sometimes I might decide to just switch and leave them like thin like that to go into the omelet or whatever it is that I'm using it for. A lot of this too can be done in advance. If you know that you're making omelets in the morning, just go ahead and cut them up at night. Or cut them up. You don't want to cut them up too soon or too early, because they'll start to deteriorate and break down. Once you start cutting through the skin of these vegetables and whatnot, they just start to wither. And you don't want to have a bunch of withered, dried up, you know, mushy looking vegetables that you're putting in your omelet. You want to be as fresh as possible. Chop up some of these. And all these flavors combined definitely add taste to an omelet. A lot of times we get these omelets, man, we just a bunch of salt. That's all it is. Salt, ketchup, or whatnot. You're not really getting the benefit of the omelet, or what the omelet tastes like. And that's another thing too. Something that you might want to get into, and you need to get into it, and that is tasting the vegetables unsalted. You know, just grab some peppers. Pop them in your mouth. You can stop up here real quick. Hold on. You're like, where your towel at? See? What stuff I gotta have for the show. This is like the first for real like episode that I'm actually cooking on. I've talked on another one, but I haven't actually shot one like this. So let me give a shout out to my camera person, X Blue Rain. Y'all know it's a poet, which is funny. She does poetry, but right now she like the camera woman, which is interesting. Anyway, so we got our veggies in here. We got our pepper in there. We got green. We got this. I miss all my onion. I'm gonna do an onion. Don't need another green in there. And I'm gonna keep it light right now. Toss it around. See, it's starting to look good already before we even get off in there. Once again, this is just the first stage of developing an omelet. See how prep work. Now, I cut onions like this because it's easy for me to work with them. I don't start peeling them and all like that. No, I cut off the top, cut off the bottom, then I go right down the side like that. And I go to the first layer, like that piece right there. So I'm like, you throwing away all the good onion. I ain't got time to be sitting for playing with peeling all day long. That's the one thing. Trying to get that little bitty skin off and you taking all day. Pop that sucker off just like that. Boom. Throw all this over to the side for right now. Next thing that I do is with my onion is I cut it right down the middle. Like that. Alright? Reason being, once again, it's easier for me to work with. Now, I can go ahead and cut with this knife, or I go with a bigger knife because this one is sharper actually with a straight edge. And it makes it a lot easier for me to just slide down and get these little thin slices like this. Ooh. You don't see me crying on camera. These onions, boy. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna use too much onions. I'm about to burst out in tears over here. Matter of fact, okay, we got pause for a minute. Hold up. Hey, I'm back. Now, normally a good way to do that is you cut them onions, you put them in some cold water and all like that and wash your hand. But I'm trying to like really get this together for y'all so I can see the parts and stuff like that. There's a lot of lovely little tricks and stuff we're getting at later on how to make cooking a lot easier for you, so that you don't have those little problems like crying while you're cooking and people laughing at you and you look retarded and stuff on camera or not on camera, whatever you're doing. So anyway, back to my knife over here. And you might not switch between knives. You might just get you one good knife that you know of, that you like, that cuts real well. And there are several of them. Take your time, go to the store, try them out. If you want something that's going to be sharp, you may have to sharpen it. And if you're not into sharpening knives, you don't feel like learning, they have companies that can sharpen them. Or you can just go get you another set. But if they're a really good set of knives, then you might need to learn how to sharpen knives. You don't want to have it look. All right, let's get these onions off in here. Boom. All right, got our prep work done with our veggies. I'm going to go ahead and shred up some cheese real quick. And we're pretty much ready to rock and roll after that. Those are our veggies. Now, real quick, too, about this cheese that I'm about to use. This is Cabot. I don't normally do plugs and stuff like that, but I got a plug, Cabot cheese. This is the only kosher cheese in Missouri that I know of. Most of the cheese that you get got some type of animal, rene, or pork or pork byproduct or something in it, right? So you want to look for Cabot cheese if that's a big issue of yours. It's not an issue like what a lot of us did. Whatever, get whatever kind of cheese you like. You know what I mean? So go ahead and shred up some of this. Shredder at. All right, so got my cheese open here. I'm gonna go ahead and shred up some of this. Now, there's a couple of ways to shred your cheese. You can do it in big chunks, where it looks like that, or you can do it in the smaller sizes. I prefer to use this because I can manage that better, sprinkle it around. This kind of starts to stick as soon as you clump it together. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the first part of this. I'm going to go ahead and shred up some more cheese, and we're going to be right back. All right, we're back. I have my cheese shredded. I have my veggies. I went ahead and put a little bit of this watercress up in there. Don't mind it being already in the bag like that, and I didn't get it fresh or whatever. But I got a little watercress in here. We got radish in here. We got tomatoes. We got scallions. We got pretty much all kind of stuff going on in there, right? That's our veggies because this is a veggie and cheese. We got our kosher Cabot cheese that's in here, Monterey Jack. And now we're just going to put our eggs together, scramble them up, and add some seasonings to them. So you want to grab you basically 2 eggs per person. That's how you want to think, like that, right? So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and, because I end up cooking for a lot of people, like 7, 8 folks daily, right? So I got to be able to measure this thing out. And I don't want to accidentally pour too much of one egg into another thing because of how the egg is connected. They get kind of soupy and all like that. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 eggs, scramble them up, like that. That's it. Some people get a whisk and go through there and scramble them up and all like that. All you're doing is whipping them around. Now, if there's a proper time to do them, I would say you don't want to beat them all day because you mess around and break them down too much, and then it's just sliding all over the dang place, and you won't hold together. You still want to have some type of thickness to it. All right. So right now we're about to move over here to our stove and get cracking on this aspect of it cooking because I'm going to show you how to season your egg while it's in the pan cooking, and then we'll add all our veggies and cheese and whatnot. All right, so now I poured my egg in here, right? And what I want to do is kind of keep it in a little circular type of form, somewhat oval, nonetheless. Or oval if you can't get it to be perfectly circular, right? And I'm kind of tilting it right now because this stove is a little off balance, and that can kind of happen. Now, I got my heat up kind of high over here because I wanted it to, pick up the pace and, get warm faster. But I usually tend to turn it down some, to like about 4 or a little less than medium, depending on if you're cooking on a gas stove or not, right? And now, once that's going and it has this look to it like this, then you can go ahead and grab your seasonings while it's cooking, all right? And my favorite seasonings are Layla's. Layla's Spice is a seasoning that was created by myself. I ain't got time to do it for all that right now, right? But this is my cooking spice. It's seasoning spice, not cooking spice. It's a seasoning spice that I made up. That's based on Himalayan salt, because I don't do white salt, white sugar. Pink Himalayan salt, turmeric, cayenne, paprika, oregano, basil, parsley, ginger. You know what I mean? Got quite a few things in here. And it took me a minute to work on it to find the right balance of all of those that, taste the way that I wanted to. So by seasoning the egg now, I'm already starting to add, flavor to it. Because you're going to have your flavors that are coming from your vegetables, but you're also going to have, flavor coming from the egg. Now, usually when you make an omelet, a lot of times people have a sauce that goes with it. So you can make your omelet kind of taste less salty or less seasoned, kind of downplay. You don't want your omelet to overpower the sauce. There would be no need to even have a sauce, right? So what I'm going to do, though, is act as though we don't have a sauce. But I am going to make a sauce because I need y'all to see me make a sauce, and I, like to showcase what I do. But anyway, so I'll sprinkle some seasoning on there just enough to cover the egg like this. Nothing too heavy. And then I'll go ahead and put my other seasoning, which I call Layla Crunch, which has to do with some organic turbinado sugar. It has black sesame seeds in it. It has basil, parsley, red pepper flakes, a few other things. So that people can have flavor, because this is cooking with flavor. They can also be healthy. Now, once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my vegetables. Tell you what, we ain't going to do that right now. We're going to put cheese. We're going to stack this thing, right? So we'll go ahead and put this cheese on here. And of course, it's going to start to melt, which is what we wanted to do. All right, spray the cheese on there like that. Add more cheese, less cheese, however you want to do it. Or no cheese at all, There. Looking nice and pretty. Once again, even when you're cooking, you want to be, feel good about cooking the food. And if you're sitting here making art while you're cooking it, you feel better about what you're doing. All right. Almost like a little salad. Boom. Some more cheese on top of that. And we'll throw a little bit more Layla spice in here. Now it's time to fold it. One spatula. I'm going to slide around over here like this. Boom. Flip that bad boy over. Now, don't trip if you don't get it all the way over here, because that happens sometimes. That ain't even that big of a deal. And actually, even with this right here, I got a little bit too much oil in here. And I'm going to do another one so you can see it with less oil. I don't want it to be too oily. Though I am using grapeseed oil, which is a lot healthier than quite a few other oils, like canola oil and vegetable oil. I don't use that stuff. Get your grapeseed oil. It's a lot healthier for you. It's lighter for you. And it doesn't bring up its own taste into it as well. Plus, it handles high heat very well. So anyway, do that. And then, put some more cheese down here. Plug it up, why not, right? Throw some more veggies on top of that, huh? Because we're going to do a veggie omelet. Keep it 100 with it. Throw some more of this on top of that. Some more Layla spice. And a little bit more Layla crunch. And we get ready to plate up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and let that sit because I didn't really prep my plate the way I like to. Okay, I'm swapping out plates over here because I was told I needed a bigger plate for the presentation. He was right. So what I like to do is grab some of this spring mix, right? Drop this on here, like that. This will serve as a nice backdrop. Add a little crunch up in there too. Now this crunch, like I say, it's a little bit healthy. You know what I mean? When you thinking vegetarian or veggie, not necessarily vegetarian, but veggie, you want to make it look garden-like. You know what I mean? So grab this, slide this right on out. Boom. here we have our omelet. How does that look? Does that look all right? It look okay? How the omelet look? The omelet look like it's right? Look like it's ready to go? Oh, believe that then. So here our omelet is. And after that, you can go ahead and create a sauce. Now I'm gonna make another omelet because I want to create this sauce for you so that you can see that as well. But if you're trying to get it going right now, first episode completed, where you can actually just up and make you an omelet, make it happen, and make it taste good. That's how you do it. But I don't want you to cut that off just yet because we need to cut off into this bad boy. Now, when I serve an omelet, one of the things I like to do is cut it. Because some people, especially if you have children, they'll mess the omelet up. It'd be all over the place. And I guess that's all right, too, because people are just having fun eating. You know what I mean? But I try to make it easier for people to consume the food that I give to them. So we'll cut down in there. Right? And then sometimes I will even cut this way, depending on who I'm feeding it to, right? Especially children, once again. Or somebody, if you know they're not the type that just want to go through all of that. So. I just scoop right up under there. Pick up some of the lettuce as well. Woo! That's how I make an omelet for real. Now you know how to make one too. Alright, now I'm about to I'm gonna make another omelet. Because I said I was gonna do another omelet. So I gotta stick to what I just said. I'm gonna do another omelet. But I also want to do this sauce because the omelet was already off the chain. I'm gonna just say that. Camera, go up and down. The omelet was off the chain. So, all right, then, okay. The omelet was off the chain. All right. But in case you want to add a sauce, like I said, sometimes you can make the omelet where it has less flavor or not as salty, or you may have made a mistake with the salt and all like that. So you may want to boost the flavor or just go a little different way with the flavor so you can create a sauce. So I'm going to show you how to make your own sauce real quick. Let's get this out of the way. Because we're not using that. Hold on one moment. We'll grab this and this. Alright, what I got going over here is, where's the agave? When I make a sauce, I use mayonnaise, right? Now, I don't get the regular store-bought mayonnaise. I got safflower mayonnaise, which is far healthier for you than just regular mayonnaise at the store. Because it's white salt, all kind of crazy stuff up in there, right? So I go and get this, plus it's kosher, and have that crazy stuff in there. Also, I use this mustard as well. This organic yellow mustard with the kosher symbol on that as well. Right? Anyway, and I'm going to get into all of that later on how to make sauces just as a tutorial. That's one of the say tutorial. I'm thinking technology right now. I like to do stuff with technology, so I got to think less, how we do it over here. But I'm going to give a class on how to just make sauces. But for right now, we're going to make a sauce real quick for our omelets. So let's get to it. Oh, one other thing, I use agave as well too. I'm big on agave. Agave, raw agave. All right, this is a very delicious thing to add. It's better than sugar. It's pure, so it's all natural. I hate using that term. All natural, because you can get a piece of pork. It's natural in a sense. You know what I mean? So you gotta watch those terms. And you're usually looking for organic, or if you don't know whether or not it's organic or if it's right or something like that, look it up. Do some study on it. Google is a big help nowadays. Now you might run into a lot of conflicting information, because once one person says that their thing is good versus somebody else's, they're going to now launch a campaign to attack this one, and it goes back and forth. So research it, test it on yourself, because the way this food looks nowadays, we don't really know whether this stuff is organic or not until we put it in our body for real and kind of see how it goes. We just trust in the labeling to a certain degree. So you do your due diligence on trying to find the best foods possible, right? Enough of all that rambling on about that. Let's make the sauce. And you can tell I already dumped my veggies out of here to put them in here to make room for the sauce, right? So, why did you even say that part? That was unnecessary. I like having fun while I'm in here. So, we're going to definitely bring that in closer here now. What I'm going to do is get, let's see here, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 scoops of my safflower mayonnaise. This over here. Gonna get some of my mustard over here. Make sure I got some up in this mug. Oh, there we go. Squirt that in there. Like that. Don't need a whole lot. Whip this around. You got a good shot of that? Alright. And I want to grab, normally I have my tablespoon scooper. First one, see how you ain't ready. You know, right there. So that's why you got a camera person right there next to you, right? So, I'm going to add a tablespoon of my Layla spice. Right? And once again, this Layla spice is all those things that I mentioned earlier. Pink Himalayan salt, turmeric, cayenne, or garlic granules, onion powder, basil, oregano, parsley. You know, it's my own little recipe. So you have your own, you can put together your own mix, right? Of a spice, of your own seasoning spice. Or you can go to the store and buy it if you want to. I ain't a big fan of that once again because they have all that white salt in there. And that stuff ain't no good for you. And we're going to have a class on that and talk about that a little bit later too. You know, the pros and cons of white sauce, not white sauce, but white salt versus pink Himalayan salt or volcano salt. Maybe they call it volcano salt or something. Let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of this agave. Down there. Whip this around. And I'm going to add, of course, y'all already know what's coming, Layla Crunch. Sprinkle that in there some. Now you may be like, dang, so you use Layla Spice and Layla Crunch in pretty much everything. That's what you're going to start to see throughout the series. And yes, I do. And once again, you can make your own. You can combine some spices and some herbs together, or you can buy mine. You can bring that. You can buy mine from cookingwithflavor.net. It's like on the site. It says seasonings. Hit that button. You understand what I'm saying? Hook that up. All right. Or like I said, you can go ahead and make your own. Right. So got the crunch in there. Whip this around some more. And now, in a professional kitchen or whatever, you're not supposed to dip your finger in there all like that. But look, we in the kitchen where I push it down. So, sorry, my finger's going out. And hold on. That's it. That's the deal. Now, of course, I've been doing it for a minute. So, I know pretty much what I need to put in and what I don't need to put in. And that's why I will break down all my recipes to you. And those will be under the recipe section of the site, cookingwithflavor.net, if I didn't say that enough. All right. Put this around in here a little bit more. And now I have a sauce to go on the omelet. Off to the side. I actually had some already made over there, but I definitely wanted to show you all this. All right. Let's get this out of the way. And I'm going to see when it ran out of cheese, right? I'm going to shred some more cheese, but this is a different kind of cheese. This is some cheese from Whole Foods. It's called Carbali Cranberry Chipotle Cheddar. Yeah. All right. Now, is this probably kosher? I doubt it. But I don't know. Once again. And the only reason I'm saying that is because anytime you start mixing in a lot of other stuff, depending on what it is, when you say cranberry, okay, where did the cranberry come from? See, I don't know these people like that. It might be, but I wasn't there when they packaged it. So is this real cranberries? Is this some cranberry sauce or a preservative or something like that they put together, cranberry chutney or something like that? I don't know, you know. And then when they saying cheddar cheese, okay, which cheese did they use? They use cabbage cheese. They got who knows? So you gonna have to, like I say, just vibe on that yourself. Now you're not gonna die from eating, just one little thing of it. But if you're still trying to have a healthy, clean life and all like that, and do what you want to do, then hey, you want to try to find out. Once again, it's about doing due diligence on finding the best foods you can. That's the main thing. You want to feed your family life, not death. So what's the name of that book, How to Eat to Live? For those that know. For those that don't, you need to look it up. No, there we go. By the way, I do have a cookbook coming out. What month is it right now? Is it December? Something like that? Yeah, cookbook coming out. Hopefully early part of next year. You know, I just need to finish shooting some more of these shows and get them in the can and work on, you know, some sponsor stuff. Hint, hint, sponsor stuff. And stepping up my game here a little bit. So until then, I got to get a lot of cooking in, which I already do anyway. So there's our cheese, right? The cranberry chipotle cheddar cheese, which is, I'm sure, going to have a wonderful flavor and taste to it. So again, I call it cooking with flavor because usually when you start dealing with health foods, you're dealing with health foods, I don't know why, but some people's stuff, it's so plain. I mean, it's plain and dang near nasty. And food shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't make you not want to eat it. Now, yes, we are, as a people, addicted. I'm not going to say as a people, as a community, America. We're addicted to salt, possibly the world. Because we put, which I don't even really need to call it. I really can't really call it salt, like real salt. It's more so bleach and some other stuff that we're going to get into later. But we're so addicted to that when we taste food, if we don't taste that, we don't want it. So that's why even when I use pink Himalayan salt, I could, you haven't seen me, but you will. I don't usually just grab Himalayan salt and start putting it in stuff. I mixed it in with all these other ingredients so that even though I'm getting a healthier salt, I'm moving back away from that because the salt should just be to enhance the flavors that are already right there and inherent in the food. So with this said, let's go ahead and make this omelet. All right. Oh, let me say this too. While I'm whipping this up. I know I said we'd be right back. Look, we're working on this thing. We're just trying to get used to it, right? But some people will go and put everything in the egg, like now. They'll put the veggies in there. They'll put all the stuff in there. You might want to do it like that. That's not one of my favorite ways because it's just not one of my favorite ways to do it. I don't like mixing everything in one bit. Drop it in there. I like doing it just this way, piece by piece, layering it, building it. But then again, I'm a graphics guy, so Photoshop, you work with layers and stacking graphics on top of each other. So same way with food. It's like I'm creating art. It's like I'm doing graphics work, but with food, you know. So, and we put these up. You ready to roll it? All right. This time I'm using far less oil in the pan. There's still some oil up in this bad boy, but far less. But I did use 3 eggs. All right, so it's going to cover more of the pan. Yeah. And it's funny though, because like a lot of people really already know how to make an omelet, but they get scared when it comes to flipping it. That's the funny part. Like all this other stuff I'm doing, all these ingredients, I'm adding this, I'm splashing that, I'm moving this over here, that over there. And if you think about it, you're doing a lot to develop this omelet. But then some people panic when you get to the flipping part. That's really, it's not that complex. Especially if you oil your pan right. Or if you're using non-stick, which I am not a fan of non-stick pans. I mean, I'm a fan in the sense that, you know, stuff don't stick. So that's a win and you not washing dishes all day. But they scratch very easily. And when they scratch, the stuff that's non-stick, whatever that is, gets into your food. So that's not a good thing to do. Now, it's a way to cook with non-stick if you know what you're doing and you're going to take the time to do that. Like this pan here, this is a non-stick pan. You don't need to act like it's something that it's not. It's a regular non-stick pan. And it has like a little mix in it and stuff like that. The key is, even if you do get mixed in it, because once again, we're still talking about how to cut down on drama with your cookware and what you got to deal with. You know, operating out of a situation of what you have. You want the best, but if you don't have that, you got to deal with what you got. So the mix comes usually when you have like a metal spatula, the pan is hot, and you scrape, you all down in there. That was an interesting sound I just made, right? But you all down in there, scraping around, and you turn up the pan. So what you want to do if you've done that is you want to cool the pan off as much as possible after that before you clean it. Cool it off. Don't just take it hot and then put it in the water and all like that. Let it cool off. Then get you some warm water. Get you a little pad like one of these pads like this, not the bristle metal thing, because you're going to end up tearing more into it. Get you some with a little scrub section like this, and you're going to scrub around in there. All right? To not hard either, because if it's non-stick, the stuff should come pretty much right off. You know, so get you a little regular detergent, some medium warm water, and move it around there until the stuff come off. It will eventually come off. Don't get in there and get to scrubbing all hard. You got super hot water on it like that, because it's going to make it come up and come off. Trust me. So that's how you want to try to take care of it. That's the best way you can take care of it after you've done that. Anyway, let me get back to this because I don't want to get too far away from what we're doing. Go ahead and add this right here. Also, I want to shout out Epic Clothing. They ain't provided me with no clothes yet. Big Tone, we're going to work on that. But he's one of my people, and I mess with him. And y'all look out for it. It's called Epic. It's going to be out here real soon. Also, shout out Jade Harrell. If y'all not familiar with One Rare Gym, y'all need to check out One Rare Gym and her programming. One, O-N-E, Rare, R-A-R-E, Gym. You know, G-E-M, not G-Y-M, One Rare Gym. Production, she has a lot of programming and stuff. Matter of fact, I'm on there as well, too, so that's another good reason to check it out. Also, of course, X Lorraine, who's holding the camera and who's an off-the-chain poet. Also, everybody in St. Louis now. Have a show where I just shout out everybody the whole time. But that's what you do when you don't have sponsors just yet. You know what I'm saying? Gotta deal with what you can deal with. So, that's right. So we're going to do cheese first and stack it. I'm going to grab my veggies too quick. Alright? So now, the way this is, I can flip it this way, but it's a little oblong like this. So I'm going to turn the pan so that I can flip it this way as I throw cheese on the floor. Anyway, you got to try to make it easy for yourself when you're doing this. Cranberry cheese. Oh, cranberry cheese with cran cheddar. That's what we say, cran cheddar. All right, put it on like that. Our veggies on there. Cooking. Well, I want to get so many people back into the kitchen. I want to get everybody back in the kitchen. The best meals you should have should not be at a restaurant. They should be at home. You go to a restaurant when you're, okay, I'm tired of cooking tonight, or, you know, let's go do something else and go out and have fun and all like that. That should not be the best food, though. Because if a restaurant is outdoing me, I need to know what they're doing. I got to study. I got to practice. Because the people that I feed, I don't care who you are, where you are, I want them to feel like this is a 5-star, 5-diamond, whatever rating system they got. A high-class, healthy, delicious, tasteful, flavorful meal that I'm getting every time I'm dealing with Anthony. Every time I come over there, this is what I'm getting when I'm dealing with him. All right? By the way, too, I ain't really like saying my name too much. I'm the mixologist. That's like my name, the mixologist. I am the mixologist. You can catch me on... what's that thing? Instagram. There we go. I'm on Instagram at I am the mixologist. All right? Mixologist. M-I-X. Let's say M-I-X. M-I-X. Ologist. You can just go to Cooking with Flavor and you'll see me. See all those seasonings on there? Some of you be like, man, you got a lot of stuff on there. A lot going on. And it is. But once again, it's healthy as I don't know what. Man, and you constantly eating all these herbs and spices every day. Can't do nothing but be healthy. Now, I don't really even work out. I'm going to start that, though. Y'all can see I got a little tub up on me. Some people like, you ain't got no tub, I'm skinny. Yeah. I know, and I ain't in the right shape I need to be in. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's scoop this real quick. Scoop this off. Boom. Oh, that's how that's supposed to look. Look at that. Or more at. It still ain't perfect the way I like it to be. That right there. Add some more cheese on the outside. Tell me, have fun. This is easy. So if you spill some a little bit, get a little over there and it's cooking. Don't trip off that. We having fun. Put these veggies on here. And could you imagine having something like this every day? looking like pretty Denny's, man. You know? And I say looking like Denny's because Denny's know how to make their food look pretty much right. Now, how healthy it is, that's another story. But they know how to make it look right. I ain't like their menus. Then you go to some of these fine dining restaurants, you can't pronounce nothing on it. They don't have a picture of it. I mean, I'm sure there's some type of science to that behind that, but I hate that. Like, what am I eating, man? Show me a picture. You can't give me an idea what it is I want to put in my mouth? That's like ludicrous to me. A little bit more Layla spice. A little bit more to crunch. Turn this off. We did before. Let that sit. Come over here. Once again, I get the little organic, baby romaine, spinach, and all like that. Grab this. That on the plate. You have a salad with your omelet. Eat salads and lettuce around this mug all the time. Get a little bit more of the Layla Crunch. And I keep saying Layla Crunch, Layla Spice. Layla's my daughter. Alright? And all of this cooking stuff was basically to be based on her because I'm trying to create, I got stuff on my shirt. Trying to create an asset for her. We should all try to create assets for our children and stuff like that. So from the cookbook to the seasonings and all like that, I want that to be for her. Anyway, you got that? Looking like that? Here it comes. Here it comes. Slide up under there a little bit. Three-egg omelet. Look at that sucker, boy. Anyway, let's get this sauce going. Come over here, whip this around a few times. I'm not a chef, once again, too. Let me say that. In a sense, technically, all women who cook at home, all men who cook at home in a kitchen for people in your home, you are a chef. Because a chef, really, for real, is nothing more than somebody that's over a kitchen. Now, they say a professional kitchen. But if you're cooking for 3, 4, and 5 people on a day-to-day basis, you're a chef. Trust me, you are. They might want to call you, no, you're a cook because you don't know the science and all like that. And some stuff you do because I really do respect chefs. They really have a lot of knowledge, information that I, frankly, right now, I don't have as much as they do. I'm just a guy who got in the kitchen for like the past 4 years, and I've just been in the kitchen, like really trying to understand food. I've been reading books and studying, different magazines, articles. I listen to podcasts on food. I just love the science of food and what it does to the body. So I'm trying to master that so that I can bring that information to you all in a healthy way. Because a lot of them, they just use white salt, white sugar, it's just bad what they're using out there. And they make it look very pretty, but it's not good for you. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to do the same thing, bring you this healthy food, but make it taste good. Or bring this wonderful tasting food, but make it healthy. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing. I gotta stop saying, you know what I mean? That's some bad stuff like, you keep, you know what I mean? Anyway, so here it is. You saw the last one. Now you seeing this one. Get our cut in. And I'm kind of cutting down in there kind of hard. I mean, it might sound like, dang, is that tough? It's not. It's just that I'm trying to cut through the lettuce and the spinach and stuff like that. That's up under it. I say spinach. I don't know if they even have spinach in it. Slide this around. I messed up my shirts. That's all right, though. I succeeded in making that, which will make somebody's day that much better. Starting with my own. Man, this is really, cooking has been a stress-free thing for me, too, or like a stress reliever for me. Some people are like, I gotta cook. And I understand that. But once I get in here and I get to going, it's a wrap. I'm good. Make sure there's a cut in between there. When they stick. Or it's the part that's not cutting, it starts falling all over. Anyway, that's it. I bit off into the last one. I ain't gonna do that time, or it might be unprofessional or something like that. So I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to embarrass myself on camera. Yeah, right. Get me some of this, boy. See, I hate when I don't cut it all the way. But that's all right. I'm sorry. This is off the chain. This is like really, this is really, really good. And so, I'll be having like little cooking outings and stuff. A little events where y'all can come and taste the food yourself. Because I know that's one thing about cooking shows. You watching them, but you really can't taste it from there. Your eyes taste it, but you really can't get the flavors and the full feel of it. So, I'm going to help y'all get that full feel. All right. Thanks a lot for being part of my debut first episode. This will be many, 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 many more. I'm allowed to be on this planet. Thousands if I can make them. Talk to you later.